hell? Oh, what my sister says I'm down. What the
Okay. Everything's ready. So let's, I guess, go have a description of the events that have led up to where you are now.
I need
Well,
That
it's
that you can remember.
so like an overall or just for the last session?
Last
Primarily.
session and any context that we need to remember exactly what's going on.
Well, last session started with us by Max, Karu, and Megumi, and I forgot one of the teachers' names already. Sir, starts with an S. Help me, guys.
No, not Silas. What the hell?
Safra.
Zafra.
Safra.
Yes.
Oh my God. The ineffectual
Lawrence
bitch. Thank
called
you.
up Kretch and Judas to kind of figure out what we were gonna do. Ended up deciding to send Megumi along with Lawrence, I think, and I think he ran into a couple others in the lobby to go to the PA building and make an announcement to meet in the auditorium. Meanwhile, Karu picked up Sora, and I think, talked to Lucille and Vera about what just happened. And we all met in the lobby, which ended up being where we were meeting.
Right, because I called us towards the lobby, and I did find the what I thought was a breakthrough. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the events immediately prior to this, basically you found Max up on the roof in a very bad state. That bad state being dead. And apparently something horrific had happened to him because there was blood everywhere. It looked like he clawed his arms out, bled to death, and then there was a confrontation between you guys. Some tensions were high, some words were said, and then you start investigating, and that's what happened before then. You start investigating. Went together, everyone in the lobby, and over the PA system, and continue. What were you saying?
Whenever we did meet in the lobby, since everyone happened to be there, the teachers just decided that they would discuss the situation here. They felt though they needed to take a more direct approach on the matter. We also had taken it one at a time to discuss anything strange that had happened, maybe around Max, with the teachers, and some things were revealed about what was going on with some of the students, and we were also told to reveal the rest of our powers. We had them.
Right, like actually
Supposedly,
made our stuff.
they have information on all our powers, but that is still kind of up in the air.
Yeah, you have a general idea that they have a general idea. Maybe they don't know the exact specifications, right? But
Right.
they definitely have an idea of, oh, this person can heal people. Oh, this person can turn into shadows. This person has something to do with reading minds. No, you're not exactly sure how much they know.
You're right.
So
Yeah. Oh, we were supposed to like discuss it. Hang on. Gosh. All right. Yeah, we were. I thought like that was one of our first classes. No, one of our first classes was just that we have powers, but we didn't go over them. They kind of just happened, you know.
yeah.
The first thing that mentioned was, "Hey, you all have powers, by the way, so don't be so surprised about being around only a few people."
Right. Other than that, anything important happen? I don't think you guys ever got around to looking in Max's room.
No, we haven't.
No, we didn't.
The door I remember was closed and locked, or just closed. But where you are now currently is you're in the lobby, and you have just went over your powers pretty much. I think most of you. I don't think everyone did. But I can't remember who did. I know that Megumi did. Karu did.
I think Akio did as well.
Do what?
Basically went over what your powers do. I don't think everyone did.
Or I did for sure.
Yeah,
Because
you
I'm
did for
dramatic about it.
sure.
Everyone, at least. I don't think Lawrence really did, though he didn't. I don't think he needed to.
I
really.
called out Ninja
Lucia,
Bitch.
yeah. Or Vera.
N-
yeah.
Vera's. I mean, yeah, Vera, but Ninja Bitch. Right?
Yeah. And do you remember what her powers apparently are?
It was like a fucked up illusion, wasn't it? I remember because she made me see things that were like ridiculously vivid and like it was like by illusion I was like draw out like it was like fucked up draw out my fears and see them manifest kind of stuff.
All right. So
Was that sound that correct? Because that's kind of what happened with me up there. I called it illusion stuff because I mean obviously they weren't up there
right.
with me.
And I'm pretty sure there was something else.
Besides her she's so OP. I hate her. I hate her.
Does anyone remember what the other thing was?
Remind me because
No.
I'm trying to remember from the perspective of what like I got fucked over with when I expected tea and crumpets.
Does Karu remember?
Yeah, she
Because
did.
I'm pretty
did.
sure
Really
she mentioned it.
She was super reluctant to mention this power that she had.
Oh
Was
my
very
God,
nervous about
she's
it.
so OP. I have the power to copy everybody else's powers. She's like the Cartman.
the mimic.
Yeah.
Hey, that's actually a
Um,
power you can take in the book.
So what she said out loud was that she has the power to clone herself.
Oh no, I didn't remember that.
You don't remember
Multiple.
that? That's kind of important, I feel.
Oh
like.
yeah, Shadow. Well, yeah, but Shadow Clone Jutsu. Remember, it was late, so it's kind of.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. So yeah.
I missed. I
The-
must have been too tired to fucking remember Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Yeah.
I think I was pretty tired too because I can't think of. I couldn't remember her reveal at all.
And you pressured her into admitting that she also might be able to do something with illusions. The teachers also went over their powers, which is you pretty much knew already.
Most of what was there.
Gustav is pretty much his power is taking away your powers. Judas's power is actually just he's basically Daredevil. He has like tremor sense and more of just a new supernatural sense of just stuff around him. I guess you could say like the force. He can feel the force or something. He's the blind guy from Rogue One. And he can also inflict his blindness on others, and which some of you have direct experience with.
Yep.
And Safra is, of course, her thing is of course manipulating energy and fashion to make shields. He can also shoot flares. Other than that, I think everyone pretty much went over their powers. If not, then you more or less have an idea of what they can do already. But yeah, that's kind of where we are. All of you are in the lobby. Lucilia and Vera have just been kind of backed into a corner and been forced to admit what their powers are, and they've been trying to not just, not tell for whatever reason. But yeah, you're all in the room in the lobby.
Yep.
With Lucilia looking naturally just kind of generally insulted at the whole situation. Indignant, I guess. Vera just looks like she has a blank face, as she always looks. And
Good old dependable blank face Vera. Fucking psycho ninja bitch. OP.
and Lawrence is just kind of, it seems like he's doing the thing where he's following the conversation, but he's kind of zoned out, right? And Sora is looking very, perturbed. He seems like he's been very perturbed recently over everything. Isabella is beside you, Akiho, just kind of standing near you. She looks a little bit uncomfortable because it seems like everyone, you guys seem a little tense.
Yeah.
A bit. Just a little bit.
But
Just a little.
But we can zoom in on that scene where all of you are in the lobby, the very spacious lobby with the couches and the table, the cashmere rug or whatever. And Judas was not there. He apparently, something was wrong with Judas that he just didn't show up.
Mm-hmm. Suspicious.
But we will open up with all of you are kind of just standing there, and Gustav just looks around and he says, "All right, well, now that we have an idea of, we have come clean with each other about what our powers are exactly, does anyone have any suggestions for what our next move should be?"
Put that bitch in chains. I immediately point to Vera. What? No one else thinks it? I kind of just
Yeah.
have my hands shrugged.
Yeah, everyone just kind of looks at you. And,
Akio's
And-
just had a slight frown
and
this whole time, but
the-
otherwise doesn't react.
Lucilia just kind of does the thing where her arms are crossed and she kind of jerks her chin up into the air. And then Vera just says, I really do not understand what the problem is. If you were in our circumstances, you would do the same.
Who's to say we would do the same? For all it turns out, for what it could be, we could be better than you, but whatever.
Safra kind of just says, girls, ladies, this isn't being very constructive. We just need to calm down. I know that there's some things have gone on between you, and it's not right that they subjected you to that, Megan. And Lucilia and Vera, I hope you know that even though what you were doing was in the right and your intentions were noble, it was still very, very much perhaps not the right way to go about things, but we need to just all band together, figure this out.
Must be nice. You bitches get out of detention. I look at the Vera and Lucilla.
Lucilia just looks at Safra and kind of puts her hands on her hip. She just shakes her head and says, sorry, I thought I was the only one actually trying to do something, while everyone else runs around on wild goose chases. But if you want someone else to,
I need
this to happen to someone else.
Who is standing next to me?
Akiho
I-
and Safra.
I am going to attempt to just, quickly, run over and just sock her one, and that in that kind of hold me back kind of.
Do you see this? And
It's very apparent.
I'll say that you definitely see it, Akiho. Do you try to stop it? Is the question.
I'm holding
You're holding Isabella's hand.
Isabella's hand.
So you don't try to stop her.
I think I probably look shocked and back away, and just try to keep my self in front of Isabella.
Isabella, good call.
Okay, then Safra will most definitely. Hey, hello. Safra will most definitely stop
me.
you.
It doesn't. I don't resist.
Okay.
It's one of those like you better, you're lucky the teachers. Yeah, you're lucky the teacher's holding me back, or I'd clock you right here and now.
She just looks at you with a look of just I guess you could say superiority over you, or just you're just indignant. And you definitely get the feeling that she feels that she hasn't done anything wrong. Gustav takes a step forward, and he, in a very deep voice, just steps in between the both of you, and he just says, "Enough! We are here to get whoever did this to Max and to find out what happened. I will not have any more bickering. If you two cannot accept or get over this, then I'll have to ask you both to leave."
Just get one of these for me. Just there you go. On D&D, I puff up my cheeks and close my eyes and turn my head to the side. Just, and also cross my arms, and I will stay that way.
Lucilia just kind of shrugs, and he just says, "Well, I already said that I am willing to work with you. I even agreed to put my own investigation on hold. I don't see what more you want from me." But then she just stops talking. And you just see Gustav kind of facepalm a little bit, and he just says, "Okay." Now, everyone, we need to figure this out together. Does anyone have any plans on what we should be doing going forward?
That is my contribution. I just fucking
Oh gosh.
I mean, I could maybe piggyback
Roll.
up an idea, but I'm pissed.
Okay. Anyone?
What do y'all got? Because I can't think of anything other than. Well, I mean, yeah, I can't think of anything honestly. Oh, I mean, hold on. I'm gonna grumble, but I'm gonna say I was like, I don't know. We could maybe bust up the orb or something. That's like
Roll-
serious, but like half serious. Yeah.
Roll a soul check.
All right. That's half
Maybe we-
serious.
Maybe we could let Isabella try it.
Oh wow!
God.
I instead of going to my character sheet, I clicked on the orb. Like, I don't know, just because
It's
I
so
must have the
pretty.
orb.
It's so pretty.
Even out of
it,
game.
it is very pretty.
You
Very
said a
pretty.
soul, correct?
Soul.
I don't.
What are you doing right now? Where are you looking? Are you still giving Lucilia kind of like the stink eye, or?
Yeah, like when I kind of turn my head and give her a little stink eye when I just mumble, grab the orb or something.
Okay. You actually see, whenever you grumble, something about using the orb, you actually see like her eyebrow raise for a second, and you think you see some calculations going through her head for a second.
God, yeah.
Sora actually says, well, there is one thing that we could do since we're all here. It
Smirk.
seems like all of us are here running in the dark. We all we have is ideas of what might be happening or what we think is happening or wild ideas. But I say that while we're all here, we need to sit down and find out what all of us know about what's going on, because I have a feeling that some secrets are being kept, and we don't need secrets. We need to know what we're dealing with, what the extent of it is, and we just need to sit down and lay everything on the table, and maybe we can actually figure something out.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I still think we should bust out the orb and combine our powers and shoot a behemoth. Like the bunker, blow that shit up. I'm mumbling all kinds of stuff about combining our all of our powers into the orb and just nuking the bunker in like spectacular.
Are you going to do the whole Captain Planet thing where you put your hands together and just be like, Earth, water, heart?
Yes.
Shadow and death. Go.
And together we
Together,
Make-
chaos.
Captain Fiasco.
or wait, is this the Chaos Emeralds or
Oh boy.
Chaos control.
Okay. Okay.
We're gonna have a round table. The round table to end all round tables.
Yes.
And I can't say anything about the other bitch or I'm in detention with her, which is the worst possible outcome.
They're gonna lock you in an elevator for a week until you two are friends. Okay, so Gustav kind of nods and he says, I agree, Cora, that's an excellent idea. So I think we should perhaps start from the beginning with all of the evidence or lack thereof from the very beginning that we have gathered. Let's do our best not to keep any secrets. First off, how should we start this? We should start from the beginning, but should we go over our theories first? How we think this whole thing is happening, or should we just go from point to point and build a story from the beginning without any biases?
Let's probably just start with strange things we've noticed or have experienced since we've been here. Like anything unusual, something related to strange emotions, maybe. I don't really know how to put it to words.
There's kind of a silence, and then Isabella says, "Well, I've been having a whole lot of fun, and I made a whole lot of new friends, and I've never really had friends like this before, and I've been very, very happy, except for the times when I haven't been, and then I've been very, very sad."
Fair enough. Say-
People have been feeling either, or I've noticed it seems people have been either depressed or twitchy lately. Right? Because wasn't that how Max had been?
Uh,
Sora just says, "Well, Max had been a little down a few days before now, but I thought that was I thought it was didn't think it was anything that would drive him nearly to what he did. I mean, to be honest, I would have never imagined that he would have done that. He always seemed so relaxed uh, and honestly, he just doesn't seem like he'd be capable of doing that." Lawrence actually says, I, I don't I don't think Max would ever do that to himself."
I agree. I mean, he was a lazy idiot, but not a suicidal one.
Safra nods and says, "Yeah, I don't think he would do that either. He he definitely felt he definitely acted like he was distant sometimes, but I I just think that he wasn't used to being around other people like the way he was, and being accepted. People with powers, especially dramatic ones such as his, can can be hard, and I think he just wasn't used to being accepted so readily. But I honestly think that he would seemed like he was really happy, if not used. Lucilia kind of steps up and says, "Okay, so we've established that Max, was not within Max's personality type to commit suicide, which we pretty much already had established. So, what else is there? We need more to go on than this. I think we should lay out what we know about all of these incidents and what links them together myself. If we're all going to be open and share.
So, I guess, do you remember exactly when it started, Sora?
What do you mean?
His changes in his uh, person, I guess. His how he was acting. Do you remember exactly when it happened, or when you first noticed it?
Give me a soul roll real fast.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Because he's the killer.
You see him kind of he looks uncomfortable for a moment. As he looks at you and he says, yeah, I know when it happened. It was it just the other night? Yeah, I think it was last night or the night before last.
So it was. I look over at Megumi. Megumi
What?
could. This is gonna be an awkward question.
From an awkward guy. Go on.
You and Max, do you
My eyes are squinting hard. Keep going. Keep going.
do you have a relationship?
I squint, and then I just look at you. I put my hands down on my hip or on my kneecaps, and I just start laughing. Like laughing and like my head is up, and then I'm just gonna slam my head onto the table, not like to hurt myself, but in frustration, and just sit there. The motherfucker with the max hearts just asked me this.
Well, it's not maxed anymore. It's
No, I know, but like through a lot of the game. So, does he need to soul roll this one? Actually, yeah. Can he
Yeah.
kind of pick up what I'm putting down? I know
Well,
it's not his best trait.
I don't think Karu might not know why this reaction is happening. Go ahead and give me a soul roll, Karu.
I could help you with that
Uh,
storyteller. 11.
well, I have that -1 still. So
Yeah.
just missed it.
The only obvious thing he might pick up is like that I was more interested in Karu was like when he like picked me up like
There's
after I became the table and like I rested my head against his shoulder, but that's like maybe like a hint of that and that's it.
you're definitely from this over exaggeration. Definitely get the feeling that you're way off, Karu.
Yeah.
That's all you can.
That's all you get. Ah,
That's
you
fine.
idiot.
Karu is kind of blunt sometimes.
You fucking idiot.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
he just doesn't have any experience in social sphere. I'm pretty sure his romance knowledge comes from like
basically anything
how-
Sora and Max have
Yeah,
talked
Oh.
how a good woman should
Oh God! And he'd have to read me like a poem that
Oh,
he
God.
wrote under the fucking cherry blossoms or some nonsense.
Yeah.
God damn it! Damn it!
his idea is like classical court shit, right? Because that's what they
Right.
teach you in the
Oh God! So
the
I'm supposed
code
to
of
wear a
chivalry.
kimono and
Yeah,
put
exactly.
my hands to my lips and just fucking giggle.
And do like
Oh,
do like do the dance with the fans and everything.
yeah. That's why my head is on the counter as well, or the counter, the table.
So now that
That-
that's out on the table,
Literally, my forehead.
Um,
God.
you see Megumi, you actually see Sora just kind of roll his eyes a little.
perfect.
And he actually says, you know, Sora, sometimes you being this
Yes. Poor Sora, who's never had a single heart. Not once. Not once did I even think of like, maybe. Not once. Not a single iota of a moment.
Well, I guess the reason I mention it is, I can't say for sure, but Sora, let me confirm. Max definitely had interest, correct?
well, yeah, I don't feel right speaking for
Uh,
the guy.
I'm RP. I am actually RPing this. Are we talking about my crush? Who has a crush on me? Is this really where this is happening? Is this really where this discussion needs to go? Karu, really?
I mean,
But-
like,
Saphira kind of speaks up and she says, Megumi, if he thinks it's important, then let him speak a little.
I'm going to sigh loudly, put my hands on the table to push myself up, and I'm going to look at Karu. You idiot! You! You were the one I've had the crush on most of all here. Like now I have a knife hand like pointing at him.
Gasp.
Ah! And then just
Yeah,
head back on the counter
there's-
again or the table.
There's an audible gasp from like several people in the room.
It's about time this has gotten out.
Surprisingly, Gustav is one of the ones. Yes.
That son of a bitch.
As he strokes his goatee, he's like, "Oh,
Don't worry, it's gone now, I say with my head like on the table. There, are we done clearing it up? Can we move on to the next topic, please? I hate being a girl. That was in game. I did not, it's just like, oh.
Yeah.
well, Karu, do you have a bond, or are you just sitting there in stone silence?"
Wide eyes, like taken aback. I'm just like eyes glancing between the both.
yeah,
On
Carl
me?
will kind of wide-eyed and be like, "Huh."
I must make note of where I went where I must have sent the wrong message or something.
Where have I gone wrong? I've made no indication of courtship.
You son of a bitch! If you said that, I'm just gonna get the orb.
Everyone's doomed now.
um. Anyway, Sora just kind of breaches the silence. Anyway, I think this really what happened.
Thank you, Sora. Thank you.
Now, if we can get back at the task at hand, then Lucilia's like, yeah, as interesting as all of this is, I would very much like to find a person that could keep your hormones in check for a little while.
Audibly grinding my teeth, but I don't react other than that. I'm going to murder that bitch.
Gustav just kind of goes like, yes, well, moving on. So, we know that Max may have been acting strange, but what about the others? I don't remember Ho or Leon acting for him.
Sora,
I honestly
weren't
do
you
not
with
know.
him in the gym?
Yeah, he would have to be.
Sora just shakes his head and honestly only knew him for those few days, but he was acting no different than on the boat ride over and the few nights before. He was just smiles and excitement, you know, he just really excited about learning new things and making new. I don't think there was anything that would have to Leon.
The morning we found him in the hallway on the 20th floor, one of the chairs were knocked over. I can only figure that it was some sort of like, I don't know what to say. It just, why would you knock over a chair if you're going to go to, especially 1 or 2 in the morning, I suppose, because it was before I got up there around 5 or 6.
Sora, or no, Farah just says, "What was he doing on the floor? Why wouldn't he have just taken the elevator all the way up?"
My thought on that, and I was thinking it had something to do with he was trying to take the longest amount of time to get there.
So, what you're saying is that walked up 15 to 20 flights of stairs to get to the. That's loose.
I mean, maybe he was hoping someone would stop him. Or hear him.
Gustav comes in. Okay, so assuming that, why didn't he go? Why didn't he make more noise? Why didn't he yell out or bang on some doors? Why did he not go something?
I
I
don't know.
guess would be giving everything that you said, that perhaps he was acting in some sort of stupor. He could have possibly hit the wrong button on the elevator and up on the wrong, stumbled out, fusion, knocked something over and made his way to the. That would be a much more likely.
Akio just whispers, "Is there alcohol here?"
If there is, I could use.
I
a
didn't think there
drink.
was alcohol. Oh wait, where's Judas? He drinks, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Um,
Blame the drunk. Always. blame the
Gustav just says, well, was a resort before you got here. But no, I'm not allowed.
Yet, not allowing minors to drink yet. I could use one. Right here. I kind of just face down still. Raise a hand for a drink.
He just kind of shakes. And he's Gustav just says, so that would be, anyway, that would be my theory. If he wasn't in a stupor, then for some reason was on that floor for some reason, and there's enough light at night that you could avoid obstacles like that. So I guess the question has to be, we have to figure out in this instance, why was he on the floor and what was he. Does anyone have any idea?
I didn't hear anything during the night.
Sora just chimes in. Well, Haru, he was coming to see you every morning, work out with you.
Yeah,
I think maybe he was up there for that.
like maybe he was, but I mean, I was up at my normal time. He was usually a little, maybe a touch late getting there, but 5 or 6 in the morning. It's early for most people, I guess. But he was, yeah. Usually he'd be like a few minutes late or so. But when he didn't show up this time, I didn't really think much about it. I thought he maybe was just asleep. Like, I don't start any earlier than that. There's really no need. You need some sleep to be able to work through the day.
Gustav at this point pulled out a little pad and writing down notes. Okay. So we know that he was on that floor, but we don't know why. But he seemed to be in some sort of mental state that would have caused him to tip over. You said it was a bench?
It was one of the hall chairs.
So that might have possibly meant that he at least groggy, or perhaps just stumbled into. But he was definitely on that floor that night, unless one of you were up there that night and over that chair. And none of you on the floor heard him that chair over, correct?
No.
It is the same.
Okay. Well, that is an indication of strange behavior for sure. But that in itself, we have no way of knowing. That could. But I guess that means we move on. Who was the next? What was the next strange thing you heard?
The next thing.
Well,
Yes, Akio?
I kind of glance at wait, is Lawrence in the room?
Lawrence is there, yeah.
I kind of glance at him and I don't know about Leon, but I don't think there was anything weird with Chiho.
Isabella just says, Chiho always smiles. I miss him.
Same.
Sora just kind of said, well, before that, there was that thing that happened with Max.
Oh, you're talking about. Second.
Him breaking in Farrah's room. Guys?
Yes, sorry, I'm copying something and pasting it. This was the notes I took of that. What seemed like to be the situation that occurred. Make sure.
Gustav.
So this is the information from that. Whenever we were investigating Vera's room. Just kind of a step by step what kind of happened.
Gustav speaks again, and he says, right. Max did. Was Max acting strangely before that episode? Does anyone remember?
I think he was normal.
Sora just nods and yeah, Max. I don't remember Max doing anything strange. He did seem kind of upset that Judas made him run up and down the stairs. But I think that was just him liking to. Gustav odds in it. Okay. So, was there anything so a thread that I'm noticing right now is two students acting radically going up to that top floor. I wonder,
Is there something buried up there or something? Do we need to tear apart that top floor?
did I just hear the ghost of Max?
Just random cat meow. It's like, oh,
Like as if to answer that question.
you fools! It's been behind you the whole time.
The Gustav looks at Lucilia, Vera, and for sure you heard nothing when the event with Leon happened. Lucilia, I'm positive. I heard nothing, Vera heard nothing, there was nothing. Then Gustav says, you think it could have been possible that Leon might have attempted to get into, or Vera, you Max got into your room without you noticing, correct? Vera said, yes, that is correct. I was quite surprised he iPad lock on. And Gustav just starts walking, running his hands through the goatee. His quite long goatee, by the way. Luscious looking, certain, and
Right.
very, very magnificent, well flowing, and just. And we know that whenever Max made his way into your room, Sarah, that he. What did he do exactly? Did he attack you immediately? Vera just pauses for a second and I I think, and this is partly me forgetting what happened. But
So I think if I remember correctly, it was Max was sitting in the corner of her bed, just kind of looking at her. But as soon as it was apparent that Farah had noticed him, that's when it made the
It all comes back to that psycho
when it
bitch.
made an action.
so yeah, so Vera just says, well, I remember him popping out of nowhere. I think he snuck in as a cat, and then he appeared, and as soon as I noticed him, he jumped on me. He seemed quite out of it. Definitely not rational. Gustav nods and says, so he practically got into your room somehow, snuck in, and it seemed as if he wanted to catch you unawares. Do you think Leon could have attempted to make his way into your room, wanting to get in there without you noticing, but he couldn't find a way? Lucilia just puts her hand on her cheek and says, I hadn't thought of that. That's entirely possible. Actually,
The great bitch detective, ladies and gentlemen.
Could she have been the target this whole time?
Do you say that?
Yeah, Akio says, like, whispers it kind of.
I kind of look at you when you say that, like,
Saphra speaks. Go on, Akiho, if you have to say, speak up.
No, nothing to add, just Could she have been the target this whole time?
Something the killer and I have in common. I just grumble.
Lucilia just says, "It's entirely possible, and it's been something that I've expected for a while that I target on my back. This is I expected as if that is the case, then probably after none of would have possible.
Oh, great. There's more of her, too.
Oh,
Just keeps getting better and better.
I imagine that I have been targeted for some time because of my powers and my mind reading. I believe that I have believed for a while now that a person, whoever is doing this, threatened that opposed them, and I also believe they have not worked whatever nefarious thing they can do on me. I have been being very vigilant, but it definitely lines up that whatever is going on might be trying to get at me through.
Look at all these
I
people
hope-
dead. She still somehow makes it about her.
I hope she kind of talks over for a second as you say that. I hope you can understand my part of my reluctance to be in all of your presence.
Eye roll.
Gustav,
Eye roll.
or Safra says, Celia, if you thought you've been targeted this whole time, why haven't you said anything to us? And she just kind of looks at Safra like she just asked something really unintelligent, and says, how was I supposed to know you weren't involved? I still don't know. You expect me to trust any of you? I'm putting myself at risk even agreeing to cooperate with all of you right now. Gustav actually sighs and he says, got a fair point. If I was in her, I would probably have the same reaction. Lucilia just gives a head nod. So, Lucilia, if you do think that you are targeted, do you have any idea of who might be targeting you? And Lucilia actually raises her eyebrow and says, I have a few suspects. And Safra times. Well, we would very much like to hear who they are. And she says, well, I'm concerned that if I tell everyone that they'll just be enraged again for rational reasons. But if you really wish to know my list of suspects, I suppose I can divulge that. She looks around the room.
My eyes roll. Because she made it about her still. She's gonna save the day, apparently. As the great bitch detective.
What about you, Karu and Akiho?
I don't quite understand what you're asking.
Gustav wants to know what or who she suspects.
Oh, okay.
And she's kind of looking around, trying to gauge if she's going to get berated again.
Were we called out specifically? Like, was that
No.
Gustav asking us?
Yeah. No, that's Lucilia kind of looking at all of you.
She's scanning the room. What do we
Okay.
feel about this? Anxiety? Do we actually care?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Basically, are you just asking for another bad person?
I would say Karu is kind of curious, but I feel like he's pretty sure he's got a good idea of what she'll say.
Yeah, Akio's probably curious, but not enough to speak up at this point.
Safra just says softly, Lucilia, we would be appreciative if you told us what you think. And Lucilia just kind of replies, very well, fine. But do not be offended. Sora just kind of says, look, Lucilia, we're not going to be offended. Can you tell us what you know? Lucilia just says, very well. So, going from what we know, or what I've gathered thus far, if I am really being targeted, and it's really because of my powers, my three biggest suspects thus far have been Megumi, which personally I'm starting to believe, make the case that it is definitively. Secondly, would be you, Gustav. You are the only one here. You are one of the one of the few people here that seem to be resistant to my power, and if you were to target me, if you were to target anyone who might be a threat, it would be me. It would make a lot of sense gathering all of superpowered people here, isolating me on an island, and then sending them at me where I cannot, where I have less of a chance to defend myself. And unlike others, you could set all the plans in motion finding out without me finding out. It's really the perfect little plot. You have a connection to my father, don't you? So it would make sense. But that is only one. The third possibility would actually be you, Karu. You seem to have developed a resistant power as well over time, but I believe that is simply through my proximity to you. And I'll be honest, Karu, your mind is, although you've learned to strengthen it, still pretty much, even without delving into thoughts. So I do not think either, Karu. And finally, come to Akiho. I have thus far been able to read a single thing from Akiho. Well, I find it very disturbing. What's more, you always seem to be around everyone. Everyone that starts acting strange. Not encountered an instance where you have not been in their proximity. Bothers me. Gustav typically keeps his distance from the rest of us. Karu is, well, I've already said I think it's not Karu, and Megumi, well, emotionally unstable. I have already gone through many links to test. Links to test. So that really, in my mind, only leaves me with Gustav and Akiho. But that's just me. That's just what I think. And no, if anyone is wondering, and yes, I know what you're thinking. No, I don't think it is Isabella or the crazy man. Nor do I think it's Judas. And no, it is not Vera either. And it is not some Japanese conspiracy. But that's what I think. Does anyone? Okay.
Akia would just be surprised they were added to the list. Like, wait, what?
That damn smile doesn't leave your face. Creepy as hell.
The Gustav scratches his. Very interesting. Really put a lot of thought in. I have a feeling that there's more you have to say that you might have on your, but that. Hey, I'd say for themselves.
Wasn't me.
Well, I will tell you this, Lucy. I may have had a connection to your father a long time in the. I definitely know of your father. I don't know if your father knows, but that I can assure you that's all very, that's all very far, very. So that I'm surprised that you would even make that connection. You're a very resourceful young girl, but I can assure you I'm here to protect all of you.
Uh,
Sora steps forward and he said, or Isabella just says, "My Akiho's nice. I don't think it's her."
Thank you.
Sora kind of steps forward and he says, "She does make a lot of good points, though. How are you going to defend yourself, Akiho? Do you have anything to say?"
Akiho puts it to sleep and runs out of the room.
So then I start blasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I just started blasting.
I mean, I just wanted to come and make friends. I don't know.
Safra kind of steps up and says, "Well, we're not here to cast blame. At least not until we know anything for sure. So, Lucilia, is there anything else that you want to share?" And Lucilia says, "Oh, there's plenty I can share. But I think we should continue with the thread that we were following, the strange behavior, and see where that goes. That's been very illuminating to me. What was next? Chiho. What happened with Chiho? Or was there something else?"
Trying to link them together.
Well, I can't recall Chiho acting weird or strange, anything like that. It's more the situation that happened around Chiho.
Yeah, look at Lawrence and wanting to paint her.
Sadly, I think only Lawrence and Sora saw the situation at hand.
Aura.
Didn't he fly down to go, I guess, to her body, right?
Well, before that,
Oh, before that.
when
Yeah.
the occurrence happened.
Aura just says, I left before. I just or Lawrence kind of perks up.
What we can tell is that it seemed as though Chiho either stumbled or slipped on something. That's pretty much all we are aware of. The only evidence that was found was, as Sora had mentioned, you said was a feather, correct?
There were also, yeah, there were feathers. Megumi, because also, I believe
I'm trying.
I believe found evidence that gave you
About the scene and like when she fell and stuff, huh?
you remember.
No, it's been so long. But it was the
Give me a mind.
I'm pondering. Hashtag never stop pondering.
Nice.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Okay.
Was that a soul?
I mean, is that the same modifier?
They're actually the same score, all three.
Oh, okay. Then that's fine. What you remember is you remember the feathers. Remember seeing footprints of of Chico backing up. Then it seems like it doesn't look like right. The backed up. He backed up to the edge, and then made it seem, or that she.
So like it was there before, and stuff was like guided. I mean, not guided, but like set up for her fall.
Definitely didn't run over off the ledge.
No, but
And
yeah, it was like she was pushed, and that's why I suspected Lawrence because of that.
Yeah,
Those two were the only ones together.
she wasn't. You remember she wasn't close enough to the edge that uh walk off it on accident. They're there for a moment, and then happened that made her stumble back. And there were feathers around there, so that's what you remember.
That's why I suspected Lawrence.
Right.
Maybe Lawrence has like these tiny birds he controls that get into people's minds, like in their ear canals, and like causes them to kill or die. That's what it is. He doesn't control just the birds, but the mosquitoes.
Wouldn't it be simpler to just say someone had controlled him to do that?
Yeah. It's got to be someone who can actually like mind control, like, someone who made me believe that there was things there. Wait, what was Vera doing during that time? If I try and recall.
Most of us were setting up tents, I believe.
Yeah, give me an.
Like that's legit what like my mind is going to, because I'm trying to connect something.
Yeah, you. Thank you for first.
Were they setting up tents, or was she sitting and meditating or doing something like that?
Sure, she was.
Ah, never mind then.
Um. Let's see. I'll give you another mind roll. Ask about what someone. What someone. Try to remember.
Oh, any of us?
No.
Okay.
Like if you want to think, like one person. Okay, if Farah was doing, I'll give. Megumi?
Sorry, I was muted. I was thinking
Oh.
freaking because I had to pop my neck, but I was thinking that's when we ran off on our own, no teachers, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Was
recalled Pharaoh with girls. I recalled.
Isabella? Well, not Isabella. Was Joey and Vera there? Yeah, they were. They were
Wait, wait.
Ari out.
Yep. Sora.
It would have been Cora, Max,
Max
Lawrence.
is dead. He wouldn't have
Oh,
killed themselves. Lawrence and Chiho walked off and were part of that incident, so I couldn't.
Yeah.
What was Akiho
Aki
doing?
there. Haru was there. Yeah.
What was Akiho doing? Do I need to roll?
Give me.
You son of a bitch.
Akio sus.
Now I'm actually. Oh, goddamn it. I clicked on Akiho instead of my character sheet. Just like I did with the orb.
Oh,
You
Whole
can't.
time. I trust my sort of friend.
Can't really.
Oh, yeah, you were
She-
just setting up
she-
tents too.
Yeah.
She
I mean-
was in the camp for sure. You don't remember what she was.
and
So,
then
yep,
I'm distracted
that's-
by the food you made
You-
that
you
summoned
want-
my beautiful piggy prince.
You don't know what he was doing. Definitely camp with you. Remember that much.
I think while people were setting up the camp, I was cooking at the time, right?
Yes, you suspicious piece of shit.
Now everyone's suspicious. Karu's suspicious. Akiho's suspicious. Megumi's. Lucilia's suspicious. Who isn't suspicious?
Isabel is perfectly safe.
Oh, she. I think.
I mean, just because she can burn an entire forest, like, doesn't make her suspicious.
But yeah, you don't recall what Akiho was doing at the time, but you do get a vague that she was didn't run off in the. She was in your proximity. Remember seeing her camp happened and running in. Gustav. Okay, so it seems to be the exact same behavior. Doesn't seem to be anything strange going. Or it happened. But then there's strange instance of someone doing a little bit off. In this case, it was
I mean, going around asking about paintings isn't unusual for him. He'd been asking for portraits of people for a while before then.
okay. So there was really no discern odd behavior. Was there?
I mean, unless you constitute the orb for anything, because he was one of the people to handle it before we did that.
So, Gustav. So the trend I'm seeing, possibly someone does something strange before the event occurs. Perhaps we merely did not around when she had her episode. Perhaps Max was a catalyst that was seemingly strange behavior. They but similar other case, Iho showed no indications of any strange behavior, and then in a sudden something odd occurred, and Megami, as you tested, there would way that she's fallen off cliff.
Right. It's like she was pushed. There was something just like almost set up there.
And Sora chimes in. Yeah, and Lawrence kind of passed out for a second right as it happened, right? And Gustav just taps his gun. So the thread also continues that Lawrence had exhibited strange behavior right as it happened. Perhaps also did something that time that would, although this is conjecture, that could be a common thread. Everything happened. Moving on. We know that something definite occurred, but what he else. So, what does all of this tell us? He looks at all of you, trying to get your thoughts. What do you think, Megumi?
Did I go deaf?
No, you're fine.
Oh, sorry. There we go. God damn it, sorry.
You did again.
Yep. Freaking. What was I gonna say? I say we get the damn orb, put like combined mind reading powers, and just throw everything on the table until we figure out who it is. This running around with like on the table, asking questions is getting us nowhere. I just want the orb. Give me the fucking.
Gosh dang it.
Lucilia actually says, "No, it was strange. I had that exact same thought earlier whenever you mentioned the. You know, I have not gotten my run with it. Perhaps that would heal everything."
Karu will say, I don't know if that's such a good idea.
Why is that, Karu? Do you have something?
Look, it's not that I have something to hide, but if we're gonna put everything out in the open, Lucilia, you shouldn't lie about your powers.
And what have I lied about?
You say Vera is the one who is capable of harnessing illusions of the mind, but I doubt that. I know she covers for you.
Lucilia actually genuinely smiles at you. At you, Karu, and says, well, Karu.
Well,
it-
what?
Yes.
Is that what you think?
Yes, Karu, is that what you think? From across the table. like my hand like reached out like in a fist. I'm like, yeah, get her.
I know that Vera wishes to protect you and do everything that she can do to assist you.
Wait.
I guess that would mean even at the cost of her life.
You just see Vera give like a small nod.
I honestly, as noble as I find it, I also at the same time do not wish to put her in a predicament that would cause her to be the target of things when it is, in this case, your power. If you were to get a hold of that orb, who knows what kind of world we would see.
And you were saying this about Vera?
No. I'm
About
saying this
Lucilia.
about Lucilia.
Ah,
I'm saying Lucilia has not stated what her
Yeah.
that she basically threw it on Vera.
Okay. So we just keep a gun trained on her, and if she starts to go crazy, Super Saiyan, we pull the trigger. I fail to see how this plan would not work.
I mean,
I will volunteer for that.
All right, I'll get the gun.
I
start to get up from the table.
Like, Megumi, think about this.
What?
If she touches the orb and her power explodes out and basically illusions, you wouldn't know where she was.
I will just point it. I mean, just put her right in front of me. I can't miss if she's right in front of me. I'll just pull the trigger. That's simple. Just let me just. Judas. I just like snapping, and I like lean over him, like, hey, gun, come on.
Judas is here.
Or not
It's,
Judas.
Gustav.
Fred. Gustav. I was like, when are you? Gun, come on.
Oh gosh.
Gun me.
Gun me.
Gosh.
Lucilia just says, if it would put an end to this whole situation, I will put myself at risk, at this risk, and of course, any precaution that you feel necessary to protect yourself, you'd be free to do so. And if you are, and Haru, if you are really so frightened of what you say my powers are, then well, I thought you were braver than.
Well, I'm not about to just let everyone fall to whatever may be. I don't feel that is the right way to handle that. I guess, can you trust yourself to be able to control the orb? Because
I have total faith in my own ability.
I know you're overconfident, but that's not the point here. You believe you can. but 2 out of 3 of us that have, or 3 out of 4 of us, sorry, because that have held the orb have, well, went chaotic, basically.
Gustav says, we don't He's right, we don't know how you'll react to the orb for the first time. Though, with your self-confidence and willpower, I imagine you'd have a better chance than...
Do you all have hollow point bullets?
Oh my gosh. Can we stop talking about weapons?
What, you told me to take necessary precautions, and I'm
Not-
doing so.
Not a gun to someone's head, though.
I remember specifically, and then I put like my hands on my hips and flared out like I'm little Miss fucking like bitch, grand bitch detective, and I was like, I am willing to take whatever risk is necessary. I mimic her voice as she says, you know, how she said that. I mean, it's not like we're putting a gun to her head. Oh, yeah, we are.
My point is, though,
Safra just says, we're not putting a gun to her head, Megami. That is out of the question.
Ah! You want solutions, you want precautions, and everything I bring up is just... And I just sit down and just, once again, pout.
But Lucilia just says, I am in agreement with her. We have pathway to the solution, but all of you are too afraid or unwilling to take it.
Unwilling sounds more like it. I'm
Yeah.
actually agreeing with her now.
Gustav just says, if we were to do that, I would want everyone's consensus. So I will take a vote from all of you. You would think that this is a good idea. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my hand's already raised. And then the other one kind of just makes a wink. No, I make a wink, and the other hand kind of makes like a pointing gun motion.
The Gustav just says, alright, well, if we are going to do this fairly, then the only way we can do this is forgive me, but will everyone close their eyes and turn around?
Karu is going to comply. He's not gonna like it, but he'll do it. The comply to the turning around with the eyes closed part, not actually voting.
I'll be the
Okay.
last one to do it and kind of just give a glare and then do it last.
Okay.
Akia will gently guide Isabella to do it and turn around, close eyes.
Okay. Let me count. I'm gonna need to count this in my head. Okay. So when all of you have your eyes closed and all of you are turned around, you hear Gustav say, yes, Safra, that means you as well. Just hear her say, oh, okay. And then she turned around and Gustav says, okay. All of you who... Okay, so how we're going to do this out of character is I'm going to want you to message me in Discord just yes or no to this plan. Private message.
Oh.
But and you can do that now. But Gustav just says, "All right, everyone who and you don't have to tell the group what you do." But Gustav says, "Okay, everyone who is willing to let Lucilia have access to the orb to perhaps unveil what's going on, please raise their hand." Okay, I have 2 messages. Karu, I need a message from you.
Yeah, I know. Weighing my options. Okay. Uh. I did message you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Oh shit. I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said.
Okay. You hear Gustav just say, see. Very well. Safra, if you would open your eyes, and do the and you also count the results. Safra just says, "Oh, okay," and then she just repeats for you to do the same thing, and she says, "Oh wow, okay, it's done." Gustav says, like leans in close to Safra, and you hear them whispering for a second, and they both nod at each other, and let's. Okay. Gustav says, "Okay, very well. It seems that the majority of you want to follow through with this plan. So, it is already getting rather late. So what we will do is everyone, I think it would be a good idea for all of us to go to bed early tonight. And In the morning, we will all gather here. And
There you go.
and we will convene, and I shall have the orb, and we shall attempt this. All of you, please stay in your rooms tonight. Me, Saffron, and Judas will be walking the halls, and if we see anyone out of their rooms, well, just don't leave your rooms, okay?
Yeah. Question.
Yes.
Do I still get a gun?
Gosh dang it.
No, I'm not letting
Okay.
you have a weapon.
I just kind of just huff and I walk off. Can't get anything here.
And Saffra just, or not Saffra, Lucilia just says, very well. If we're all in agreement, then tomorrow morning, perhaps this mystery will be solved.
Shit.
And you actually see Lucilia for the first time. She seems to actually be in high spirits, and she smiles and gives all of you a very elegant sort of curtsy-like bow before she heads to the elevator, before all of you guys with Vera, and leaves.
So this is how it ends. This whole thing was orchestrated to get her to the orb. She kills us all, and then like establishes this place as base of operations. We failed.
Well, I think we're
Turns
gonna
out
end the session here because I think it's a perfect stopping point. But yes, maybe it has all been the long con from her to get
Yeah.
the orb. Yeah, I guess
I knew it.
I
It's gonna be.
guess-
I want to.
I guess
fight
you'll
her.
find out next time.
I want to fight her. Just me and her control for the orb.
The battle for good and evil. Who shall prevail?
I will prevail. However, like
It will not
the
be
orb is
without
too
cost.
much for me. Yeah, the orb will be too much for me, and just like as I'm
Yeah.
about to like destroy, Karu just puts the wooden blade through me.
Yeah, no, what I was gonna say is you will win, right? But whenever you finally grab the orb, it's just gonna shatter, and there'll just be like the scene from the third gathers. Do not
Oh god,
want.
the fucking.
I did what?
I did what? That shit was
Okay.
terrible.